The theme of false prophets has been explored across many religions, myths, and literature, often as a cautionary tale about deception, misguidance, and the dangers of blind faith. Here's an outline of how this story usually unfolds and why it resonates so strongly. 1. Ancient roots of false prophets. Biblical roots. In both the Old and New Testaments, false prophets are frequently mentioned as people who falsely claim to speak in the name of God. The Bible warns against them, presenting them as manipulators who could lead people away from the true path. For instance, in the book of Jeremiah, false prophets proclaim messages of peace while the true prophet, Jeremiah, warns of impending disaster. Other religious contexts. In Islamic teachings, false prophets are condemned for leading believers astray, and the Quran emphasizes that no prophet would come after Muhammad. In Hinduism and Buddhism, the concept of false teachers, or imposters, also exists, people who might exploit spiritual teachings for personal gain rather than enlightenment. 2. Symbolism of the false prophet. Misguidance and moral weakness. The false prophet often represents not only deception but the susceptibility of people to charismatic personalities. Such figures prey on fear, desperation, or the innate human longing for hope and answers. The inner darkness. Many tales suggest that false prophets are, in some way, corrupted by desire or ego. Their inability to transcend personal ambitions renders them imposters, using divine or noble rhetoric as a mask to hide their selfish aims. Duality of truth and lies. The false prophets have truths or charismatic lies highlight the thin line between wisdom and manipulation, showing how easily truth can be twisted. 3. Characteristics of the false prophet. Charismatic and persuasive. Most false prophets possess charm or eloquence, allowing them to sway crowds and attract followers. Claims of divinity or special knowledge. They often claim to be messengers, chosen ones, or possessors of unique insights. Predictions and omens. False prophets may make vague or conditional predictions, exploiting the natural human desire to see patterns in randomness. Exploitation of power. Many such figures eventually exploit their followers for wealth, control, or even darker purposes. 4. The journey of the believer. Stories about false prophets often focus on the journey of an individual or group who, in their search for meaning, come into the orbit of the false prophet. Disillusionment and awakening. These followers may initially experience relief or purpose, only to face gradual disillusionment as they recognize inconsistencies, see manipulation at play, or suffer harm due to the prophet's actions. Rediscovery of truth. The end of the story often sees followers turn back to their inner convictions or rediscover genuine teachings, symbolizing the triumph of personal discernment over deception. 5. Modern interpretations. In contemporary literature and media, false prophets are sometimes business moguls, self-help gurus, political figures, or cult leaders, people who present themselves as saviors but are ultimately self-serving. Pop culture and cautionary tales. Movies, novels, and TV series explore these figures to reflect societal anxieties about charisma and manipulation, exploring themes like loss of agency, cult-like loyalty, and moral corruption. 6. Moral lessons and social commentary. Importance of critical thinking. Many stories stress the importance of questioning authority and thinking critically, even about the things that inspire or move us. Faith and skepticism. These stories explore the balance between faith and skepticism, suggesting that blind faith is often the avenue by which manipulation succeeds. Self-responsibility. Followers' journey toward awakening often signifies the need for individuals to take responsibility for their own beliefs rather than handing them over to a figure of authority. The tale of false prophets reminds us of the need for discernment and personal conviction in a world where promises of easy solutions and saviors abound. Through both ancient and modern stories, we learn that deception often wears the face of hope, and finding truth requires a journey of critical self-reflection and resilience.